A 79-year-old woman has been killed and 18 other people, including children, wounded in a terrorist attack in the city of Ra'anana. Two Palestinian suspects from around the Hebron area have been arrested. They were working in Israel illegally. Our Robert Swift has the details.
Ra'anana, a wealthy city 30 minutes drive from Tel Aviv, became a scene of carnage. A combined stabbing and ramming attack killed one woman in her 70s, with 17 other people wounded, children among them. Schools were placed under lockdown, and residents told to stay indoors as police launched a manhunt.
Professional, determined activity, a very fast chase, and the closure of the area. And we managed to get our hands on the second attacker as well. The two perpetrators are relatives, residents of the West Bank who entered illegally.
Israel's Shin Bet identified the two as Ahmed Zidat, 25, and Mahmoud Zidad, 44. From Hebron, who were working in Israel despite being banned from entry previously. Familiar with the area, the two cousins rammed 3 vehicles into pedestrians at several locations across town, causing initial confusion, contributing to the mass casualties. The attack adds fuel to debates over how easily the West Bank separation barrier can be bypassed, and the role of Palestinians in Israel's economy. Former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, a resident of Ra'anana, spoke from the scene.
The enemy is trying to attack us everywhere, in southern Israel, in the north, and also here in central Israel. I want to be very clear for every terrorist. We're not going anywhere. We're here to stay forever. And every terrorist should also know that we're going to get to the last of them. We will get and hunt down every terrorist.
Hamas welcomed the attack, describing it as, quote, a natural response to the massacre taking place in Gaza. Israel's security services, already conscious of a deterioration in the West Bank, will hope that such events do not spread.
With me in the studio this hour, Dr. Michael Oren is the former Israeli ambassador to the United States. It's good to see you, Michael. We're also joined by our senior editor, Guy Azriel. A brutal terrorist attack in central Israel today. Ra'anana, one of the safest cities in Israel. Normally it's turned out that these two men came from close to Hebron. They were not supposed to be in Israel. At the same time, you've got many in the government arguing that it's time to bring back Palestinian workers.
These were illegal Palestinian workers, keep in mind. And I think the person who also hired them should be in prison tonight. And yes, Naftali Bennett is right. They're attacking us from every front. But one of the things we can clamp down on is illegal Palestinian workers living here. And I'm surprised about Ra'anana because the biggest source, the biggest site of illegal Palestinian workers is actually in the Negev. These are Palestinians who are employed by the Bedouin in agriculture. And that is also a source, a great security threat that Israel has to clamp down on.
So do you agree then with the defense minister and others in the security services that it is time to bring back those Palestinian workers because otherwise there will be a further incentive for them to turn towards terrorism?
This is the Palestinian workers who can be cleared, who can be checked. There's less chance. There's always going to be a benefit. Before October 7th, between 130 and 170,000 Palestinians would come into Israel every single day to work. It was a source of stability. It was one of the guarantors against the outbreak of a third intifada. And that was pretty much a consensus among Israeli policymakers. I can't speak for some of the more radical right-wing ministers, that this was a good thing. There are 37 crossings going into Israel. In 35 out of 37, these workers wait between 5 and 7 minutes to get in. It's very quickly, very easy. It's only in Jerusalem there's a problem that the PA, Palestinian Authority, makes problems for people coming into Jerusalem because they don't want to normalize Jerusalem. So it's a form of coexistence that the world didn't appreciate. It was a source of stability. To the degree that it does not jeopardize our security, we should continue it.